Comment down below if you guys remember the statement necklace that was so essential to every good outfit that ever happened in the 2010s. I was in my early 20s during that period of time, and so that's why I love this necklace so much. I thought I would give a little throwback vibe today. I don't know if 2010s is considered vintage yet or old school yet, but definitely nostalgic. Hello lovelies, and welcome back to another weekly pick a card reading. You guys missed your pick a card last week. I know I had a really bad cold last week. I can kind of still hear it in my voice, but last week it was so bad that I couldn't talk without coughing every few minutes. So I knew that that wasn't going to work because I've got to talk for over an hour straight to do these videos. But I'm feeling well enough now to do a pick a card. And I'm really looking forward to today's pick a card topic because we're going to talk about the holiday season for you, which if you're in the United States or if you're American, happy Thanksgiving to you. I hope you're having an enjoyable Thanksgiving filled with family or love, maybe your pets, good food, a good movie, like however it is you celebrate. I hope you're feeling grateful today. But holiday season kind of crams in. We've got Thanksgiving if you are from the United States, then we've got Christmas or Hanukkah if you're Jewish, and then we've got New Year's, and it's all kind of around the same time. And for some of us, it's a really uplifting period of life, especially if our family feels great, if our romantic life feels great. For others of us, it can be a really rough and depressing period, especially if you're feeling very lonely, if you don't feel like you have a lot to celebrate in your life. And I, in my life, have gone through different periods of time where this holiday season is something I'm really looking forward to, and other periods of time where I'm dreading it. So I wanted to talk about this, and I wanted us to be able to receive some advice and some guidance from Spirit in terms of the holiday season, what we should keep in mind when it comes to our family relationships, our romantic partnerships, and otherwise, as well as kind of like get a little peek into what the vibe is going to be for us this holiday season. Do we have anything to look forward to? What type of holiday season should we be creating this year? Should we be traveling? Should we be staying at home? So let's find out what Spirit has to think and wants to say to you in regards to all of this. I do have 4 piles for you today, so I'm going to get out of your face so you can focus on your piles and determine which one is calling to you. I do want to give a shout out really, really quick to my channel members. Thank you so much for joining. Leave me a little emoji down below, and I would like to encourage anyone else that would like to join and get a little bit more personal with me by becoming a channel member. You can find the info for all of that in the description box of this video. And then also, haven't done this in a while, for those of you who have been following me for a long time, you know exactly what I'm about to say, but I am wearing my sister's Etsy earrings. She hand makes these with clay. This is from the Addison collection. She named these after me. And I always leave a link to her shop in the description box of the video as well. Okay, enough chit chat. I love you guys, and I will see you at your pile. Hey Pile 1, welcome to your pile. Let's take a look at what this holiday season holds in store for you, what Spirit wants to talk to you about. This is the card topper you all gravitated towards. This stone is called Muscovite. I believe it came out in the last reading that I did in which I used these cards, this deck. Okay, so who needs it? The pragmatic, empirical, and reasonable. Anyone who has ever asked themselves, how did I not see that coming? When to use it. When I want to believe is your MO. When you feel like you've been missing the signs. When you have a problem that logic won't solve. When you've blown the lid off with too much meditation, microdosing, or Moldavite and need to get a grip. At the very bottom, it says develop your foresight. All right, let's take a roll of the die and then I'll talk a little bit more about what I'm seeing in that card. Okay, we have Uranus and Pisces in the 4th house. So 4th house is home and family, our roots, our childhood, our upbringing. Pisces is about a lack of boundaries, a feeling of lost, of loss, I mean. Yeah, it's about kind of not having your own sort of identity, being a bit of a chameleon, being very adaptable to other people and situations. And Uranus is about the outcast, the outsider, abruptness and shock. Okay, so it feels like what Spirit's wanting to say. First of all, I do feel that in this holiday season, there is going to be an expectation for you to be with your family of origin, your parents, your siblings, your grandparents, to be with your side of the family. But I am also feeling that you are going to have this urge to be at home, okay, be in your own space, to pull away a bit. What I'm hearing from Spirit is that Spirit is really wanting you to get realistic about your expectations when it comes to your family of origin specifically, because I feel a lot of pain from your end due to you always hoping for something better. You're always expecting for something more, okay? And so you forget to put up kind of these natural walls of protection between yourself and others, boundaries, because you're always trusting that, well, it will be different this time. Or, I feel like that's kind of all Spirit wants to say about it. What I'm hearing from Spirit is that this holiday season in particular for you is going to be much better if you can be more grounded with your expectations, okay? Don't hope for the best. Also, don't hope for the worst or expect the worst. There needs to be a really realistic sort of evaluation when it comes to the types of people who are in your lives, how your family of origin operates, and that sort of thing. I'm also seeing with the Pisces, which is about no boundaries, that there's this tendency for you either to want to be all in, completely all in, or all the way out. Okay, so it's either like, okay, I'm going to say yes to everything my family invites me to. I'm going to go stay at their house for 2 weeks, let's say, and put up with all of it and hope for the best. Or no, I'm not going to take any chances. I'm cutting myself off and I'm just hiding out away at home. See, like all in or all out. Spirit's wanting you to, because both of those scenarios are without boundaries. In the first scenario, you are lacking boundaries and just thrusting yourself into other people and allowing them to do what they will. In the second scenario, the one where you pull away and stay at home, you aren't having any boundaries for yourself. You're going to the other extreme end of it. And you're also only pulling yourself into isolation because you're not sure how to set up boundaries when you leave. So it's like, since I don't know how to set up boundaries, I guess I've got to isolate and imprison myself, okay? So Spirit's wanting you to practice setting some healthy boundaries for yourself as well as for other people in your life, and doing things in a balanced way this holiday season. Be balanced, okay? Don't be all in, don't be all out. Be very conscious of this and force yourself to create balance, okay? So maybe you go, but maybe you make sure that you're one of the first ones to leave, stay an appropriate amount of time. And then whenever you feel things getting a little bit more comfortable and relaxed, or you start seeing those little red flags popping up, before it turns into anything extreme, you say goodbye and go home. That way you are making sure that you're not allowing drama to enter your own life and your headspace, okay? So creating a balance with it, getting practical, noticing the red flags, noticing the signs. What I'm also hearing from Spirit is a lot of you have a relationship in your family that isn't super healthy, or maybe there's been some tension there recently and some arguments there recently. And from your end, you feel like it comes out of nowhere. Everything's fine, and then all of a sudden, that's how you're processing it. What I'm hearing from Spirit is actually there are signs that something's off before it gets to that point. And you actually are powerful enough and capable enough to be more aware of those signs and take action accordingly. I'm going to give you guys a personal example from my life, okay? Because I come from a big family that lacks a lot of boundaries. And we've always been very proud of that, to be honest. Like we know absolutely everything about one another, and we're super, super close. Everything's really enmeshed. It wasn't until around the time of my Saturn return that I started seeing that, you know what, maybe this is actually not healthy in all ways. It's good to be close to your family, and I'm glad I am. But, maybe there should be, just a little bit of boundaries here. Maybe I shouldn't be telling my mom everything about my husband. That's just one example. Maybe I shouldn't be, talking to my mom about other family members if it's something that they don't want her to know. It's like in my family, it's like everyone tells everyone everything, and it's kind of understood that there's no concept of a secret in my family. I feel like the past couple of years we've really all started working on that. But the lack of boundaries has been not an issue. I mean, it is. I just didn't realize it was an issue until later on. Well, I have a daughter, and then I have a baby sister who's like the same age as my daughter, because me and my mom got pregnant at the same time. Me and my mom are like this. If it were up to me and my mom, we would be together every single weekend. Heck, even in high school, I would opt a lot of times to stay at home and hang out with my mom versus going out with friends, okay? And so after I had my daughter and she had hers, and they were around the same age, it was like, wow, we've got the perfect excuse to hang out together every single weekend, as long as we want to. But the girls got to a certain age, and there started to be some conflict of personalities, okay? Whereas me and my mom are like this, and our personalities just enmesh so perfectly. My daughter and my younger sister, their personalities are different. They don't quite click all the time, which is normal, right? There's lots of family members that I don't click with as well as others. And yet me and my mom, we're kind of forcing them to be around each other all the time. And it got upsetting for me. And I remember venting to my husband about it, because I thought, well, does this mean that, am I going to just never be able to go hang out at my mom's because the girls don't really get along or like each other all the time? And my husband was like, Addison, you're always so extreme with it. He said, it's, what I see? I was like, what? He said, what I notice is that the first 2 days that we're at your mom's, the girls get along fantastic. He said, it's always on the third day, after they've been together for 3 days, that some sort of argument erupts, and then I'm on my daughter's side, and then my mom is on her daughter, my sister's side, or whatever, and tension happens. He said, it's always on the third day. He said, I swear to you, if you can just make yourself leave after the second day and go back home, and don't keep the girls around each other for such an extended period of time, that's all that needs to be done. All these other issues that are bothering you will be non-existent. And I thought, you know what? Now that I think about it, he's right. Everything does go fine the first couple days. And so then I started trying to make a more conscious effort, even though if it were up to me, I would just stay and hang out with my mom for 3, 4, 5, 6 days on end, pulling away and going back home after that second day. And since then, the girls have had no issues. It's like crazy how just changing that one little thing, it didn't require me to have to alter my mom's personality, alter my sister's personality, or any of that. It was as simple as just making sure I don't overstay my welcome. Solved it. So there's some sort of situation like that in your family that Spirit's wanting you to take note of. There are little red flags of things that come up before the big explosion happens. And you can start taking note of them as they happen and then reacting to them accordingly. So kind of being a buffer for the explosive events, finding the bomb before it explodes, right? So that's what Spirit's wanting you to do this holiday season for yourself. Just be more alert, be more aware of things, and be more practical and grounded in your approach with it. Set a few little boundaries. Don't go all the way this way or all the way that way. There's a happy medium in the middle that you'll be able to find, all right? Okay, I know I got real personal with you guys, but let's get into the tarot cards, okay? Okay, so for my tarot deck, we have stage 4 of endeavors. It's upright. A good home or work environment, living together, even just as roommates, a good living situation or arrangement, marriage, family reunion, buying a home, a house with land, a celebration or holiday, perfect, or vacation, a getaway or relaxing time with colleagues, friends, or family. And this is more fourth energy. This card is Venus and Aries in the 4th house. Okay, let's look at the rest of the tarot. We have 5 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, and the Fool. There's more Uranus energy, really, really fresh. Okay, some of you are actually going to be making a move this holiday season or taking a vacation somewhere during either Thanksgiving or maybe around Christmas time or maybe come New Year's. But there's some sort of movement going on in terms of your home life. Maybe it's one of your family members that's going through a move, because I can also see, which I see will be positive. This is going to be really, really good for the energy of the holiday season, as well as this, 2022, the new year. I see you creating a healthier home environment for yourself, okay? So Spirit wants to encourage you on that. Some of you are still searching. Some of you are second guessing yourself. Is this the right thing? Should I say or should I go? Okay. And Spirit's saying it's good what you're doing. Keep making progress in that area of your life. Because I can see in the 5 of Pentacles that for a lot of you, there's financial concerns that you have for this holiday season. You're worried and paranoid about money, and you have this sense of lack. And I see that around you and your family, there's some sort of there could be a jealousy going on with some of your family members, okay? Because I see that you kind of feel in lack, and that you're surrounded by one or quite a few people who seem to be just so abundant and just living the high life. And you see them kind of not noticing what's going on with you, I guess. You almost feel like they've got their backs turned to you and they're like, oh, this is so pretty. Look at this. Look at that. Isn't this wonderful? And you're thinking, hey, I'm like right over here just like suffering out in the cold, and you're just not going to notice. You're not going to, offer to help or do anything. Okay, so I see that. I see tension there with that. That you feel as if your problems, your issues are being disregarded and overlooked. Meanwhile, maybe people are being nitpicky with you, you feel like. But you feel like, you know what? I've got so many issues and things going on in my own personal life. Of course I'm stressed. Of course I'm sensitive. Of course I'm ridden with anxiety. Like, what's your excuse? It looks like your life is, fantastic and abundant. So Spirit's wanting you to be aware that you have these feelings going on inside of you, okay? Be aware of them, because when you're not aware of them, that's when they can take over your actions and take over your remarks and cause passive-aggressive tendencies, resentment, and tension. And these are all feelings that don't make us feel good, that ruin our day, that can sabotage our holiday season. So be very careful with that, because I actually am hearing from Spirit that there are going to be people around you, some of these people that you're actually bothered by and bitter towards, that you feel are being selfish or self-centered. They are actually going to be very generous towards you, okay? So some sort of surprise gift or offering to pay for something, but it will be in a way that's really unexpected and catches you off guard. And if you aren't taking care of those resentful feelings beforehand, you could sabotage that, or in the very least, you're just going to feel guilty that you assumed a lot of things that maybe weren't true, or obviously weren't true if they're now making this big kind gesture towards you. So just be careful with that, because I can see you getting a little bit overwhelmed with guilt if something like that were to occur, or when it does occur. I also see in the 5 of Cups here that there's some grieving going on this holiday season with something. But you're alone in the picture, so this doesn't feel like the family is grieving to me. It doesn't feel like, oh, there's been a death in the family and it's the first holiday without them. It could be, but even if it is, it feels like you're grieving alone. So for some of you, there could be a relationship that's ended, or an argument that's occurred, or it could have something to do with work life or just your own mental health, and it feels like you're grieving something. But the message on the 5 of Cups is always from Spirit that we have to parent ourselves through our grieving process at times. It can be very easy. Our knee-jerk reaction is to notice the cups that have spilled and to grieve over those cups that have spilled, and to be angry about why did they spill, and to think about oh, I wish I could turn back time and I could save these cups from spilling and yada, yada, yada. But the message from Spirit is we've got to parent ourselves and make sure that we focus not just on the cups that have spilled, but the cups that still remain, the cups that haven't toppled over. To be grateful and appreciative that at least they didn't spill. And to make sure we are tending to them and taking care of those things so that they don't spill. Okay, so everyone grieves in a different way, and the grieving process, it's got several different steps, and there's no right way or wrong way to do it. I want to emphasize that because I know some of you could be going through some heavy stuff emotionally, mentally. But this is a suggestion from Spirit, a practical tip, okay, to don't just focus on what you've lost. Remember what you have gained. Remember what you have currently and practice gratefulness for that. It will help your mood, okay? It's going to help you, all right? So focusing on a more positive outlook, not letting yourself get into a dark space by looking back too often, okay? Especially during holiday season. Holidays, they only happen a few times a year. You can grieve, you can spend your time in bed, oversleeping or crying or whatever it is you need to do. You can do that so many other days out of the year, right? Because it is needed. There are days that we need to do that. But holidays are special. Holidays are an excuse to have fun. They are an excuse to do something exciting. So that's kind of what Spirit wants to say, is at least for these few holidays, make sure you just shut all that stuff off, all that negative talk, all that darkness. Just put it in a little box. There's meditations that'll have you do this. You imagine that you're taking those thoughts, those feelings, just putting them in a little box for safekeeping. We're not getting rid of them. We're not throwing away. We're not going to hide them. Put them in that box and then say to yourself, you're safe right here, and I will get back to you later, okay? And then you just store it away with the intention of coming back to it at the appropriate time. So that way you can disconnect, compartmentalize, and make sure that you are treating yourself and enjoying yourself. We have to have the balance and the mix of both, okay? And then we have the Fool. This is great. It's more brand new energy, which does tell me that a lot of you are moving during this time of the year, moving homes, moving jobs, or just shifting plans in a big way, which is exciting. The 2022 looks like it's going to be a really fresh start for those of you who picked pile number 1, okay? A lot of things are getting cleansed and cleared away. Now, let's look at the oracle cards that I have up above. It says, begin now, take your first step. That aligns so well with the Fool card. Then we have Moon in Capricorn. Let me know down below if you do have a Capricorn moon. Put aside emotional concerns and focus on achieving or increasing financial security. Yes. Let's see what angel is with you for this holiday season. The guardian angel of service. I offer the best of my talents and goodwill, making my place in the universe a better one. Beautiful. All right, then we have the court judge, looking a little angry and disappointed in someone. We have surrender your addictions. Whether you're addicted to substances, food, people, it's a common one I see, sex, or overworking, take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with healthier alternatives. Oh, 2 cards came out here. Okay, so we have the teamwork card, and then another one was hiding behind here for you, which says vulnerability. I'm determined to be a good teammate in all of my relationships. Sounds like this card here. If we disagree, I'll resist the urge to place blame and look for a way to solve the problem together. When we're a team, everything's a game. And when we're on the same side, nobody can lose. Okay, the vulnerability card, and it shows someone speaking, right? I allow myself to talk about my feelings without fear of external judgment or internal drama. When I express my feelings, a couple of funny things happen. Number 1, I feel like a kindergartner. And number 2, everything gets lighter, easier, and filled with the comforting glow of honesty. Hey, no wonder kindergartners seem so fun and stress-free. All right, and from my love deck, we have the unrequited love card. says there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Now, this card is for those of you who are wanting some romantic advice, advice for your romantic life. I know that won't be for all of you. Some of you are happily single, some of you are happily with someone, but this is a card I pulled for those of you who are wanting to know what's going on with my love life this holiday season. Okay, so first of all, we have the begin now, take your first step. Goes perfect with the Fool. Both of these cards, kind of like what I was talking about with the tarot, these are about a fresh new start, a fresh new beginning. The Fool is never living in the past. He carries very little baggage with him. So if you've ever heard that phrase like, oh, that person just has a lot of baggage, I don't know if I want to be with them, they just carry so much baggage with them. It's a metaphor, right? It's a metaphor for saying there's still a lot of undealt things from their past that they're lugging around or allowing to weigh them down, okay, keep them from moving and progressing. The Fool is about a true fresh start where we have healed, we have dumped that baggage off, we have let it go, we have given it away, and we now feel lightweight and free. Okay, that is what Spirit wants to see for you this holiday season. And I feel that there's definitely a lot of emotional baggage, trauma, unresolved issues internally. But what I'm seeing in the cards and hearing from Spirit is that for you, it's got to start with the practical, tangible things first, okay? That's going to be the catalyst to healing everything else and kind of revamping your life as a whole, okay? So, physically getting a fresh start by physically moving jobs, applying for a different position, by physically paying off debts or physically moving into a new house, okay? So doing actual things with your body that change the scenery in your outer world, physically cleaning up your environment, cleaning your home, organizing your home. For you guys specifically, doing those sort of practical, tangible things, that's going to be the first step to knocking down that emotional door within that needs some healing as well. It's kind of like these physical, tangible things are blocking that doorway for you. So in order to open that door and experience that healing, you've got to clear it out first, okay? So think about what tangible things you can do to help improve your life, your state of mind, especially materially, with security, financially, and even health-wise. We have the Surrender Your Addictions card, getting a good sleep schedule, going on walks or getting into yoga, like whatever sort of physical exercise you think would be good for you, eating a little bit better. Those sorts of things are going to help you get in the right mindset for progress and change in your life. Now we have the Guardian Angel of Service. So that's another thing I'm seeing. And we have the teamwork card, right? The ants working together. Spirit's really wanting you guys, even though I can see you definitely don't feel abundant right now, okay? I see that in this card. You feel like a huge lack of abundance and like you're the one who needs help. You're the one who needs people with more stepping in to give a little bit of their time and energy to help you out of a rough spot, right? But what I'm seeing and hearing from Spirit is that Spirit's actually wanting you this holiday season to focus on giving more, okay? So for some of you, this means volunteering for like a food bank or maybe one of the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, or otherwise, you sign up to help feed homeless people, or maybe you sign yourself up to be a surprise gift giver for a child in need. They have lots of little programs and ways to give back, and Spirit's really urging you, sign yourself up for something like that. It's going to help get you into the holiday spirit. It's going to help remind you of how much you do have in your life, even when you feel like it's at its worst. You still have so much to be grateful for, and that's really what Spirit's wanting to give to you this holiday season, is a feeling of gratefulness, an ability to see all the things that you do have, okay? Because I know there's moments in life where it's so hard. You just feel like everything's crashing down on you. You feel like you've got nothing to be grateful for. But the truth is, when we really focus and think about it, there's always something. There's always something. So trying to get back into a healthier mindset and outlook on your own life, okay? Now, we do have the Judge here. So again, I do see that there is a certain relationship that feels a little distant. I guess I'll put it that way. Maybe you feel like others are judging you, and maybe it makes you defensive, right? Because it's like, whoa, 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 you're going to judge me and point the finger at me. When someone does that, we usually want to defend ourselves, to fight back, and sometimes maybe to attack their character a little bit. Like, you're going to call me that? Oh, wait a second. What about you doing X, Y, or Z? But the message from Spirit is to focus on vulnerability instead. If someone does attack your character or say something a little bit out of line, don't respond. Don't get defensive. If anything, get vulnerable with them. Say, like, wow, that really hurt my feelings that you said that. That was a low blow. You know what I mean? So instead of engaging in that similar behavior, try being vulnerable instead. Okay. Now, the unrequited love card, for some of you, there is a relationship that's maybe like just started, or heck, maybe it's just ended. And you're wondering, like, should I be introducing them to family? Should I be going to their family this holiday season? Of course, if they invite you, then sure. But what I'm seeing from Spirit here, Spirit's wanting to let some of you know that they feel it's a little bit too early on to do that, okay? Because I see that it feels like there's a lack of stability in your life right now. That's the biggest theme that I'm getting from the cards. You've got to replant your roots and reestablish yourself in the world. Like, I can see that 2021 really knocked you off your feet in a lot of ways, okay? Things feel unstable. So Spirit's wanting you to, in your romantic life, to take things slow, to force yourself, remember the boundaries that we talked about, force yourself to put on the brakes a little bit, to remind yourself that there's no need to rush, okay? There's this great analogy that I heard that compared a relationship to driving down the highway, okay? So let's say you and your partner, you get in the car because you are wanting to go to this destination. It takes 3 hours, let's say, to get there. If you're driving the speed limit, it takes 3 hours to get to this destination. People who lack boundaries in relationships, they get excited and just want to rush and get to that destination as quickly as possible. So instead of going the speed limit, they'll go, way over the speed limit, right? Because you get to the destination quicker. But what does that do? That puts you and your partner at risk. It puts the relationship itself at risk. And it can even cause the partner, the person in the passenger seat, if you're the one driving, to get nervous, anxious, distrustful of you. Okay, it can sabotage to the point that maybe they're going to say, hey, I want to get out of the car. I don't want to do this anymore. You're freaking me out. And then, so your intention initially was, well, I want to get to the destination quicker. I don't want to have to wait as long. But now you've sabotaged the whole relationship. Versus if you would have just gone the speed limit, everyone would have been relaxed, risk would have been low. Yeah, it would have taken you 3 hours to arrive instead of 2. But guess what? In this scenario, you actually get to arrive, So Spirit's wanting you to remind yourself of that. Think of that scenario in terms of your romantic life. Enjoy taking things slow and building up a sense of stability over time, okay? But yeah, I see that for you guys, 2022 is going to look nothing like 2021. There's a huge new beginning for you in 2022. Things are going to feel fresh. I can feel that now that you're getting towards the end of 2021, things feel heavy and weighed down and just like, what in the world is going on? I'm feeling exhausted, but just push through, okay? Because it's going to be a different story come January, all right? There's a lot of things getting revamped, revitalized for you, and you're going to really enjoy 2022, okay? I love you guys so much. Thank you for coming. I hope you have a fabulous holiday season filled with fun and laughter and love and joy and comfort and all those sorts of things. And if it's not that way for you, well, just know that I'm thinking of you, all right? And my videos will always be here every week, okay? All right, I'm going to leave you guys at that, and I look forward to seeing you in next week's Pick a Card reading. Bye, my love. Hey Pile 2, welcome to your reading. I can't wait to see what the holiday season holds in store for you up until 2022. So let's take a look at the card topper you all gravitated towards. This is one of my favorite stones, in this deck of cards because it doesn't even look real. Like, how does nature produce something like that? It looks like it goes into a computer. Just crazy cool looking. This is called bismuth. Who needs it? The easily distracted, burners, and people who are very bored. When to use it? For those looking for some psychedelic influence without swallowing the red pill, lie on your back and take 10 or 100 or a million powerful breaths through your mouth with bismuth placed on your forehead. Then break out of tired, gray thought patterns and get en route to a more colorful, energized life. On the bottom, it says, rewrite your code with rainbows. All right, so you guys are in need of some stimulation and excitement this holiday season, it sounds like. I like the sound of that. I'm already feeling uplifted just off the energy of that first card. Let's take a roll of the die and look at the tarot. Yeah, we've got fifth house energy. So we've got the North Node in Capricorn in the fifth house. Fifth house is about fun and play. It's about the inner child. The North Node is about getting out of one's comfort zone. And Capricorn has to do with traditions. Okay, I feel like for a lot of you, it's time to change your holiday traditions. For a lot of you, what I'm hearing from Spirit is, maybe you need to have a holiday tradition of vacationing every Christmas, maybe going to a really cool destination or hotel or flying somewhere, or maybe it's just little changes like set a tradition of a certain game, turn a holiday night into a game night, or have a Friendsgiving like on Friends instead of. So for a lot of you, it's like you've been going along with what you were indoctrinated into, what your family did for holiday season, and you never really thought to like look outside of the box and think, now that I'm an adult, I can actually create my own traditions. I don't have to always just follow the ones that were set for me. And you haven't even tapped into that imaginative space, the idea of now you have the power, you have the control. What sort of traditions sound cool and fun to you? And it's time to build them. So that's what Spirit wants to see you do this holiday season, to push yourself out of your comfort zone and create a holiday season that is fun for you and a new set of traditions that you can indoctrinate your kids in or your partner in, something that's, centered around what sounds fun to you, doing something unique. It feels unique, out of the box, that sort of energy. Okay, so very cool, very exciting. Let's look at the tarot. All right, we have level 2. Look what it's called, the vision board. So perfect. It's upright. It says the ideal, no settling, exactly what you want in a perfect world. The veil between what we know and what we don't know. Intuition, psychic abilities, inner knowing. The secrets and answers you seek are within. Tapping into that inner knowing and actually listening to it. Demanding what you want actively and fulfilling it. This card is associated with the 4th house, which is home, family, childhood, upbringing, and the moon, the mother. All right, let me look at the other tarot cards. Yep, look, we've got Wheel of Fortune, a brand new cycle, luck, expansion. We have the Knight of Wands. This is fire energy, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles, earth energy, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. Then we have the Page of Pentacles, more earth energy. Wow, and then the Ace of Pentacles. Dang, dang, dang. All right, for some of you, there is a pregnancy with that 5th house coming into the fold. Some of you are going to be excited to find out that you or your partner are pregnant, or maybe an adoption finally goes through, or maybe you're signing up for foster care and you're getting your first foster child. For others of you, it will be an announcement for someone else in the family, maybe a cousin or a best friend or a sibling, something like that that's going to add expansion and excitement into this holiday season. Maybe it's a birth, and not just a pregnancy. I'm also seeing with all the pentacles here that the changes that you make this holiday season, these are things that are meant to last, okay? These are changes that are going to affect the holiday season for decades to come. I'm also seeing a lot of younger energy, so younger kids and children. I'm also feeling warmer weather, okay? So I think for a lot of you, maybe there's like a trip to Cancun or Florida or LA or somewhere where the weather is warmer, because I'm seeing water and warmth and kids like splashing and playing. It could be your own inner child. For those of you who don't have kids, it's like, what would I as a child want to have been able to do during Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's and setting that intention and making it happen. Because the Wheel of Fortune is about a new cycle, new beginnings, but it's about expansion, travel, luck and prosperity, optimism. All right. And then the Knight of Wands is about adventure and travel as well. So, but I see here with all the pentacles that there is also something going on in work life for a lot of you. There is like a new course of study that you're deciding to take on or enroll in, or something that you are just pouring yourself into to learn about. It feels separate from the holiday season, but something that Spirit still wants to talk about, because some of you are going back and forth on, should I sign myself up for that class, or should I buy that book, should I do this thing? Spirit's like, yes, do it. This is going to be great for your future, for your financial security and stability. Do it. So this first card talked about feeling bored, right? A great way to alleviate boredom is to learn about something new, to study something, to expand your knowledge. So I see you taking a tangible step towards that somewhere throughout this holiday season. Maybe you're picking up a second language, you're spending your downtime studying. I see you getting a lot better about alleviating your own boredom. Okay, so being able to feel when that's setting in and having a game plan for, okay, when I feel this way, before I let it go too far, and I end up acting out in self-sabotaging ways, these are the things I'm going to do when I'm feeling bored. I'm going to pick up that book. I'm going to research this. I'm going to cook something or bake something. I'm going to color or draw. So yeah, for some of you, you're separated from your family of origin this holiday season. Maybe some of you live in other states or other countries. Maybe you're off at college and there's just no way to get back home. And so that's your main worry around the holiday season is, well, am I just going to be bored and lonely? I see the fear there, but if you do kind of what Spirit's telling you to do, that's not going to happen. And this will actually be a really fun, exciting holiday season for you. Okay, so yeah, do something a little bit different and unique, but something that's memorable. All right, let's look at the oracle cards. We have in the flow, this looks very Christmassy, right? It says, everything is smooth sailing. Then we have the Hare Totem card. It is an auspicious time for new beginnings. Let's see what guardian angel is with you all this holiday season. The angel of discernment. So discernment is all about being able to make good choices, to know what the right choice is. Through the grace of the divine, I am able to know the right path. And notice, this is a baby angel. There's not very many baby angels in this deck. Most of them look like adults, but we've got a little cherub here. So again, I'm getting more symbolism for a childlike energy within you. So either this holiday season, you'll be tapping back into your own inner child and curiosity and creativity, or you're going to actually be bringing a child into the world or be around children in some capacity. All right, then we have the mother bear protecting the baby cubs. So we have lots of mother energy, right? Because this card is about the moon, this initial one, which is the mother. We've got the mother bear, we've got the baby angel, and then we've got the fifth house. So, all right, from the surrender deck, we have surrender your fear of intimacy. You are ready to let love in. Compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. Then we have the wants and needs card. Notice one person's eating pie and the other one's eating grass. I take stock of my relationships and I'm honest about what I want and need from people in my life. I note the difference between the two. Wants are negotiable, needs are not. Both may be desired and either may be acquired. But that's getting into Venn diagram territory, and no one wants to draw one of those. So wants versus needs. And then this is a relationship card. This won't be for all of you, but this is for those of you who aren't happily single or happily with someone and need some relationship advice for this holiday season. Ooh, okay, it says calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. I like the sound of that. All right. So yeah, you guys' pile feels very smooth sailing, kind of like we have on the in the flow card. I I do feel like a separation with your family of origin. Um, so for some of you, you're going to be kind of off on your own, not so much with siblings and parents and grandparents and that sort of thing. Um, Maybe just being with your own family, like your own partner and kids this holiday season, or if you don't have kids, maybe being with friends or kind of out on your own. Because even the woman on this card, she's on this sleigh and she's having a great time, and this looks very festive and Christmassy, but she's on the sled by herself. Okay. So I see, yeah, a lot of that energy, connection to the inner child. Um, there will also be a lot of your time focused on and reflecting your own future in terms of your partnerships, like who you want to be married to or who you're currently married to. Do you want kids? How do you want your kids to grow up? What kind of environment do you want them around? I see that being a huge kind of train of thought, or taking up a lot of thought in your mind, a lot of reflection on, what kind of family do I want? What kind of future what kind of traditions do I want to have? And like, it's going to bring up a lot of thoughts and fears and emotions surrounding that aspect of your life. I'm also seeing some romantic movies playing on TV, um, like romantic comedies or romantic holiday films, uh, or yeah, or even I'm seeing like vintage, like stuff you've already watched. Okay, I'm not seeing that there's like new films, but I'm seeing old films that you're already attached to and nostalgic about, that are centered around romance and love, that you are watching at some point from November through January, and yeah, spending time thinking about. On the surrender your fear of intimacy card, as well as the calling in your soulmate, and in the wants and needs, I see that for some of you, you have a fantastic person in your life romantically that you are being resistant towards. You're pushing them away a little bit. There's a fear of, I don't think I'm ready for that though yet. Okay. Um, and you're also, what I'm hearing from spirit is you're being a little bit, reevaluate your deal breakers, is what I'm hearing from spirit. Because it's almost like you're finding deal breakers in this other person that maybe shouldn't be deal breakers. All right. That'll be different for each and every one of you. So I want to be careful as I say that. But spirit is telling me that there's a really great person in your life that's wanting to get a little bit closer. Uh, and I see that that's going to be kind of you're going to be hesitant about that this holiday season. Some of you are going to be going on a date, or a couple of dates, spending a lot of time dating over this holiday season. That's fine. Go ahead and do that. Have fun, right? You're going to know when you kind of meet the right person. It's a person that makes you feel a little bit different than the others. You feel a chemistry, a connection. Don't overthink it, is what I'm hearing from spirits. And I see that in the start of 2022, I do feel most of you will be in a more solid sort of relationship by that point. And you're going to be working through this fear of intimacy and vulnerability. That's going to be not a long road, but it'll be a road, okay? That'll be a journey and a big theme for you in 2022. How can I get more vulnerable? How can I be more intimate? How can I enjoy intimacy and not overthink it and not nitpick it and not run away from it? All right. And that's going to be great, because I'm seeing that over the next few years with this Wheel of Fortune card and the vision board, which that's another thing. Spirit's wanting you to create a vision board for yourself. Hang it in your house, print it off, create it on your computer, your phone, print it off, frame it, hang it somewhere where you can see it. Get that vision board up and start looking at it, getting excited about it, because over the next few years, it feels like you're going from childhood to full-fledged adulthood over the next few years, regardless of age. Feels like up until this point, everything has been about reenacting what you were indoctrinated in, through your own family and your childhood. Whereas the next few years, you're really going to start viewing yourself a little bit more separate from your family of origin and as your own adults, capable of creating their own traditions and crafting their own life and being that marriage partner and being that parent, or whatever it is. Like you're finally going to have this sort of separation between, okay, this is where I came from, but now this is who I want to be and grow into and where I want to go. All right, so this holiday season is going to be pivotal for you in that sense. I just see your mind buzzing with different thoughts and information, and is this what I want to do, or do I want to do that? Okay, so but I see it being a very lighthearted energy. If you get the opportunity to travel, to do something unique and different outside of what you normally do, go for it, is what Spirit says. Spirit wants you to keep this fiery, passionate attitude of, I guess I'm going to try that out. Okay, I'll go ahead and go. I'll go ahead and do this. Create your own traditions, okay? All right, I'm looking forward to you guys' holiday season. This looks like a blast, especially if you've been dealing with boredom the past few months. Buckle up and get ready to go on a fun ride over the next few, because you will be busy, and 2022 is going to be a big year. I'm seeing a lot of love in 2022, all right? I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming. I look forward to seeing you in the next Pick a Card reading. But until then, bye. Hey Pile 3, welcome to your reading. Can't wait to take a look at what the holiday season has in store for you. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and what advice and guidance Spirit wants to give you. Let's take a peek at the card topper you all gravitated towards. This stone is the garnet stone. For those of you who are born in January, this is your birthstone. So I have a lot of January birthdays in my family, actually. So I know this stone very well. Let's take a look at who needs it. Writers who aren't writing, painters who aren't painting, and sexual beings who aren't sexing. When to use it? When you feel like the real you is getting lost in the sometimes shallow, often materialistic priorities of a likes-driven culture. It says at the bottom, get into your depth. Beautiful stone. And for those of you that this is your birthstone, I've always heard that wearing your birthstone, because your birthstone kind of is connected to your sun, because your sun sign in astrology, kind of dictates the month that you're born in, or it represents that, right? Your birth month is connected to your sun sign, in a sense. So your birthstone, therefore, is kind of connected to your sun's energy. And our sun is our what? It's our confidence, it's our pride, it's also our inner child, it's where we shine. So by wearing your birthstone, it helps strengthen the energy of your sun, your vitality. So if any of you here are born in January, comment down below, let me know. That would make you a Capricorn or Aquarius sun sign. I would recommend getting some jewelry with garnet in it, a real garnet stone to wear around. Okay, let's take a roll of the die and then we'll look at the tarot. Okay, we have Mars in Pisces in the 7th house. Intense energy. 7th house is the house of one-on-one relationships. It's the house of the other, the people that are opposite our own identity. It's the house of marriage as well, business partnerships. Now, Mars is very aggressive. It's an aggressive energy. It's about competition, about battles, about winning. It's also a very masculine energy. And it kind of connects to the pent-up aggression that the Garnet card talked about. It said this stone's good for writers who aren't writing, painters who aren't painting, sexual beings who aren't sexing. So it's about wanting something being true to you, but not taking action on it. And it says for people who aren't doing that, who aren't taking action, the Garnet stone could be helpful. Mars is a planet that is all about action. It's action oriented. It doesn't want to wait. It wants to do. It can even be impulsive. So that's a good sign, because I feel like it's going to help. This Mars energy this holiday season is going to help you take action on things that you haven't had the confidence or the energy to do. Now, here's the quote unquote warning sign I'm hearing from Spirit. If you don't allow this Mars energy to have an outlet, by painting or drawing or writing or sexually or through physical exercise, if you don't create a healthy outlet for that energy, because it is going to be within you during this holiday season, then it could come out negatively in the form of pent-up aggression, anger, irritation, outbursts, that sort of thing. That's how the Mars energy is on the negative end of the spectrum. So Spirit's wanting you to like make the most of this Mars energy. Don't turn down opportunities to take action on things, and even try and make a plan for you to carve in some creative time during your day, as well as time for physical activity. Whether that's going on a walk or, gosh, you can get out physical activity in so many ways. Even if it's just like deep cleaning the house, that's kind of killing two birds in one stone. If your house needs a deep clean, I promise you, it will take out some of that physical energy, mopping and wiping things down and really getting to work. I actually did that this last weekend, did a full deep clean, and my back was hurting at the end of the day because I'm really bad actually about making myself exercise. If I was in more shape, maybe it wouldn't have done anything. But so yeah, trying to be creative and find ways to get out that energy. If you are in a marriage or a long-term partnership, don't allow the busyness of this holiday season to get in the way of your physical connection with that person. That can be so easy to do, especially if you've got young kids or a hectic schedule. Carve out time for that because it's going to help keep you more connected. Even if you're not really like in the mood, just make yourself do it. Carve out time, okay? That's what I'm hearing from Spirit. Now, Pisces is about kind of a lack of boundaries, feeling kind of lost, where is my identity in all of this? So I do feel a sense of overwhelm for you all this holiday season. I just see a lot of busyness going on and not a whole lot of like you time. And so that's what Spirit is wanting to make sure you do for yourself, because I do feel like you're going to be kind of constantly thinking and doing for others, whether it's like, I've got to go get these gifts, now I've got to cook this, now I've got to, I don't know, whatever it is. Holiday season can be like that, where we kind of lose ourselves in that process, okay? So make sure you're balancing in some you time, okay? Especially for your creative side and your physical side, all right? Okay, let's take a look at the tarot cards and then we'll get into the oracles. Okay, we have the Witness of Endeavors. It is reversed. It says repression, not listened to as a child, buying truths, not communicating, not telling what needs to be told, not putting the needed effort into something, and pride getting in the way of learning. The not putting the needed effort sounds a lot like the message on that garnet stone. This is a fire card, so it's associated with Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, as well as the 2nd, 6th, and 10th house. Okay, let's go through the rest of the tarot and then I'll talk to you a little more about that card. Okay, we have 7 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands. Yeah, a lot of overwhelm, you guys. 9 of Swords. All right. I'm here to give you guys the truth, all right? But it's good to hear these things because it can help prep you. It can help you make different choices, and it can ease the transition. But this holiday season for you all looks very hectic, okay? It looks intense, and I do see you feeling frustrated, okay? Feeling overlooked, feeling a little bit competitive even with others. That's another thing I'm hearing from Spirit. Some of you have kids, or maybe you've got a spouse or a partner, and I'm seeing like comparisons getting in the way of your enjoyment this holiday. So like, for example, in the situation where you have kids, your kids are saying, well, so-and-so is getting this for Christmas and getting that for Christmas, and real expensive things. And so you're feeling like, I have to go get these expensive things so that my kids are able to keep up with the other kids in their life. Kind of like a keeping up with the Joneses type of scenario, even if your budget really can't afford that. Or on the other side of things, you don't have kids, or maybe you do, but maybe it's more focused on the partner's area. So you're hearing about your friends and like the gifts that they got from their spouses or their partners and how extravagant these things were. And maybe your partner got something that to you, now that you're comparing it to what other people got, you're like, I don't like this anymore. So it's like you would have liked it if the comparison wasn't put into the equation. Same with your kids. If you're getting them gifts, it's like they would have loved what you've gotten, but it's this comparison, this keeping up with others, that's kind of muddied the situation. So Spirit's wanting you to be careful of that. Don't overexhaust yourself or your resources overspending on things just to keep up with other people. And try your best not to compare what others got. Even if this is with family, maybe in your family, you have a sibling who tends to be the favorite, and every Christmas can kind of be a reminder of that because the gift that mom or dad gets for them always seems to be a little bit better, a little bit more expensive than yours. Spirit's like, cut all of that off. Like, do not allow yourself to go there, okay? Because Spirit wants you to really enjoy this holiday season and not get into comparisons or competitiveness with others. And that initial thing we talked about you making sure you're doing things for yourself that make you proud of yourself. Wear jewelry that reflects your birthstone. Invest in your talents and your assets. If you're a great writer, make sure you get started on writing, that initial chapter of the book you want to start, or, whatever your talents are. Invest in those, because that's going to help keep your confidence up and help you feel centered and like you're not just giving everything of yourself to other people, because you are important too, okay? Because I do see with these two cards that there's going to be this this part of you that's like just wants to escape, like get the hell out of places that you don't want to be in. Like, it's almost like you go through this extreme of juggling and doing everything and all of it, and then you because you're not putting enough care into yourself, you reach a breaking point. And so then maybe you just suddenly don't show up to that next event or gathering. You're like, screw it. It becomes very sudden, or maybe tensions rise up and you're just like, I'm just leaving. You know what I mean? And then kind of drama ends up ensuing from those sorts of situations. So Spirit's like, make sure that you are balancing time in for you, so that way, and not overextending yourself. So that way you're not ending out this year feeling regretful or exhausted, all right? Those sorts of things, filled with anxiety. Take care of yourself. Some of you have actual mental health needs, okay? Some of you have already been diagnosed with something, already take medication for that or attend therapy, and are going to consider either canceling some therapy sessions because, oh, my schedule's just so crazy, it's holiday season, or forget to take your medication. Spirit's like, do not allow yourself to do that. Keep going to those therapy sessions. This is the most important time not to skip those. And make sure that your daily routine is prioritized, all right? That's extremely, extremely important for you all at this time. Okay, let's go through the oracle cards, all right? And then I need to talk to you about this one. I almost forgot that. Okay, we have this beautiful card with the rainbow and the peacock. Peacock is also a good an animalistic representation of confidence, beauty, taking pride in yourself. It says support is all around you. Then we have the waning moon. A waning moon is when the moon has already become full, and now each day it's shrinking and getting smaller and smaller until it becomes a new moon. So it's releasing things. Let go of that which is causing you inner turmoil. Now is a time for casting away emotions that are no longer serving you. Okay, let's see what angel will be guiding you through this holiday season. We have the Archangel Gabriel, one of the most well-known angels. I am made whole by the message of love, brotherhood, and freedom. Beautiful. Oh, from the interactive deck, we have this image. Looks like a father reading a book to his children. We have surrender to receiving support and love. Interesting. Both of these cards are talking about how you do have support around you. You do not have to carry the burden of everything on your shoulders, especially to the detriment of your own mental and emotional health. Allow the love and support of others in, rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. Okay, from the love and relationships deck, we have the maturity card. I make peace with the tough relationships of my past. I probably would have skipped the pain they came with, but I'm grateful for the lessons they brought me. Because of those tough relationships, I can look back at the mosaic of my life and see value in even the most broken pieces. Okay, this card is a love and relationships card as well, but this is for those of you who are needing advice in relationships, needing comfort. You're not happily single, you're not happily with someone, you're kind of feeling lost, all right? Okay, we have the Release Your Ex card. The time has come to clear your energy. All right, for a lot of you, this is going to be the first holiday season being single after having been with someone for a long time. You know, maybe some of you have just gone through divorce and you've got to split your time with the kids with someone else, for example. You know, or for others of you, it could just be like you've gone through a recent breakup and this holiday season is going to have you thinking about last holiday season when you were with, you know, that now ex boyfriend or girlfriend of yours, and just kind of getting, you know, kind of being in a sour mood about that. Some of you, it's just being upset that you feel like you're the only single person maybe in your family. So you go to these holiday gatherings and you see, like, you know, your sister's married with kids and your parents are married and your brother's getting married, and you know, I'm just still single, I guess, you know. So some of you could be single parents. So I see that there's a new sort of pain, like a hurt or a turmoil that feels kind of fresh. And it feels like this is the first holiday season that you're going through that. All right. Or at least in a while. But what Spirit's wanting to remind you again here is you do have fellow travelers. You know, surrender to their help, surrender to receiving support. Do not hold everything in. Even the waning moon, it says let go, working through releasing those negative emotions, or like this card says, releasing your ex, which is a representation of the past, what was. So getting out of that energy. And even Archangel Gabriel says, I'm made whole by the message of love, brotherhood, and freedom. Brotherhood is about what? Those helpers, those friends. So I do feel that in this holiday season, it will be very important for you to stop yourself and say, okay, can I ask someone for help? Can I call on someone for help in this, that, or the other? And we have this Witness of Endeavors card that talks a lot about repression, being so used to not being listened to that you've given up on trying. You hold everything in. You don't communicate things. You don't say what needs to be said. Whether that is, I'm feeling overwhelmed, can you help me? Or whether that is, hey, that really hurt my feelings. Or, you know, why have you always been that way with me? Okay, so this is going to be a crucial holiday season for you in terms of communication. Even for some of you, releasing your ex is going to have to come through the form of communication, through an email, through a letter, for the purpose of closure, okay? Not trying to just start up casual chit chat with them, but getting some important things off your chest, writing a letter, even with the idea that they may not even respond, but I've got to get this out of me. So yeah, some of you need to kind of make peace with your past in a sense, and use this holiday season as a catalyst for that endeavor. You've got to find your identity again. I see you guys really being weighed down by a lot of responsibilities and tasks and just the busyness of life, and you've lost your own identity in that process. I see that you feel disconnected from your son. You know, you almost feel like, I don't even know who I am anymore. You know, I don't know. I don't remember who I used to be, or I remember who I used to be, but gosh, that person feels so far removed from what I am now. And so just, yeah, this feeling of just lost, I guess. That's the best way to describe it. So this is going to be a holiday season that brings an opportunity for a lot of healing within you. It pulls a lot of things up to the surface. So Spirit is going to be giving you a lot of opportunities to address things from the past. And Spirit wants you to be courageous enough, be brave enough to deal with those things head on when they come up, to no longer repress things. If you're feeling, you know, an angry energy in you, instead of trying to repress it, either communicating it or saying, okay, I'm feeling this tension and anger, I'm going to go out for a walk. You know, I'm going to invest in that physical exercise. I'm feeling bored and depressed. Well, I'm going to make myself do that creative activity that I love, that will give me back that sense of confidence and create an outlet for this energy. I'll write a poem about it. I'll write a song about it. So no longer repressing things, being able to ask for help. This holiday season is going to be an opportunity for that for you, okay? And I see that 2022 is going to be kind of a readjustment year for you. It almost feels like in 2021, you've become a table with 3 legs instead of 4, right? Everything feels kind of wobbly and off balance. And so 2022 for you is going to be about getting your balance back, getting your fourth leg back so that your table is stabilized. Okay, so it's going to be a year of new foundations for you. All right, so try and make the most out of this holiday season. There's a lot of opportunity for healing for you. Okay, put yourself first, prioritize yourself and your needs so that it's balanced with all the other responsibilities that you have, and connect with others. Surrender to receiving that love and support. Allow it to happen. You have to be vulnerable with people in order to receive their love. You have to say, I need a hug right now, or I've got a lot of, dark thoughts in my head and I need someone to talk to about them. If you go through life just repressing it all and pretending everything's fine, never asking for help, never getting vulnerable, you close off that door of love, because no one even knows that you need it. No one knows you're repressing anything. Everyone thinks you're fine because that's the facade that you're projecting. Okay, so allow yourself to crumble a little bit, to get soft and vulnerable with others this holiday season. Okay, all right, best of luck to you all through Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, or whatever holidays you're celebrating during this time of year. I'll be thinking of you, praying for you, genuinely, okay? And 2022 is going to be a year of rebuilding. You're going to get that stability, that foundation back that you're craving, okay? So if you put in the work, put yourself first, prioritize your needs, okay? You're going to get there. I love you all. Thank you so much for coming, and I look forward to seeing you in the next Pick a Card reading. Bye. Hey, Pile 4, welcome to your reading. Let's take a look at what this holiday season has in store for you, what to expect, and what advice and guidance you need from Spirit. So let's take a look at the card topper you all gravitated towards. Beautiful color, kind of goes with what I'm wearing today. This is Honey Calcite. It says, who needs it? Anyone with a job to do, the brilliant but lazy, and any Taurus. Comment down below if you've got any Taurus in your chart. When to use it? When the barriers to abundance feel too big to power through. When it's time to stop waiting your turn and stop waiting until tomorrow. Picture yourself triumphant on the other side of whatever stands in your way and call on Honey Calcite to kick in the door. It says at the bottom of the card, break through your limits. Ooh, so I'm feeling like some expansion in career or with goals. Like some of you are on a have like a certain weight loss goal for something maybe not even holiday related. So maybe you're going to really be keeping tabs on what you're eating and consuming throughout the holiday season. I don't know, it just feels very goal-oriented for you all this holiday season. Almost like you're getting an early start on your New Year's resolutions. You're trying to tie up some loose ends for this year. So let's take a roll of the die and get some more details on this. Okay. Oh my gosh, Taurus came up in the die. We have Neptune in the 9th house in Taurus. So Neptune is about illusion and fantasy. There's a fogginess when Neptune comes in. We can't quite see everything clearly. It feels like a dreamy sort of state. So once again, I'm seeing like this vision board and this motivation within you for something related to, now Taurus is about our self-worth, it's about our values, it's about our net worth. So it could be financially, it could be in terms of the health and the body, like I want to build up my confidence, I want to build up my worth, my value as a person. And 9th house is about our higher studies. It's about our religious beliefs. It's also about foreign travels. Okay, so it feels like you're building up your resume for something. And it could be resume for work-related opportunities or goals, or even your dating resume. You know, like I'm ready to put myself back on the market. I want to be like top tier, highest value male or female I can be to attract the right person. Or it could be in terms of like your knowledge, like I want to get that degree. Maybe some of you are going to be graduating by the end of this year, something like that. Okay, it feels good though. It feels very positive. Let's take a look at the tarot. Wow, yeah, we've got level 17, the North Star, and this is upright. It says lifelong or big dreams, hopes, and aspirations. Yes, The ability to see clearly one's destiny for the future, knowing exactly where you're headed, understanding your spiritual purpose for this life. Philanthropy, in sync with the forces of the universe and nature. This is like the ultimate card of manifestation, of knowing exactly what your purpose is and being motivated towards that purpose, because now it's like clearly laid out for you. So this holiday season is going to be one that you remember, because some big events will be occurring for you. This is going to be you looking back on it in a few years and like, oh yeah, I remember around Thanksgiving or Christmas this year was when I made my first sale for my business. It's when I got that promotion I've been waiting for such a long time. It's when I finally hit my weight loss goal, or whatever it is. Let's look at the rest of the tarot. Okay, we have Ace of Cups. That's water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We have Three of Pentacles. Yes. And Three of Wands. Both of these cards represent success in business, in financial endeavors. These cards kind of represent the expert, the entrepreneur. So I love seeing that for you all. Oh, and then we have the Three of Swords. All right. Yeah, for some of you, this holiday season, the reason you've become so awakened, things have become so clear, is because you've had a big wake-up call in your life. Maybe you went to the doctor and you saw that you've got high blood pressure, or that you're pre-diabetic, and that's what's really got you motivated to, what, that's it. My health is going to be a priority. I'm focused. Something helps you really refocus your life and get that motivation intact. That's what I'm seeing with this Three of Swords. Or it could be something that happens outside of you, to a family member, to a friend, that is a big wake-up call. Like, oh, wow, I've got to get off my butt and go. There is no time to waste. Like, I've only got one life. That's kind of the mindset I see you being in. So I'm feeling a lot of gratefulness, a lot of aspirations, a lot of positivity, to be honest, this holiday season. And some of you will finally be starting up that business you've always wanted to start up. And I see you just pouring a lot into yourself emotionally, like really being tapped into your highest hopes, wishes, and goals, and doing things to make that happen. I see you having a lot to brag about this holiday season. You're excited to go to these different gatherings because you have things to talk about. It's like, oh yeah, I finally hit 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, or oh yeah, my investments are like skyrocketing right now. Maybe you're investing in crypto or something, or I finally got that promotion. Like, I just see a lot of bragging going on for you, which I love. Okay, let's look at the Oracle cards. Wow, we have a star card, another star card. Navigating by the stars, follow your bliss. Goes so well with the North Star card. We have the new moon, which is about new beginnings. It says the time is ripe for seeking new opportunities. Let's see what angel will be guiding you through this holiday season. We have the Angel Prince of the West. I create the reality around me with thoughts of pure love and goodness. Yeah, I see you guys really in a manifestation phase. You're really monitoring your thoughts. You're keeping them positive. You're keeping them focused. All right, from the interactive cards, we have this card, which shows, it looks like an older man who's saving a younger boy. He's come to the rescue, even though, this man is older, weaker than he used to be, maybe a little bit more, gets tired a little bit more easily. It's like what's the phrase I'm looking for? For example, like, I can't lift much on weights. I really can't. But I know for a fact that, like, if my daughter, for example, like, was all of a sudden trapped underneath a car or a building, all of a sudden that strength, it wouldn't even be a thought of, oh, well, I'm not strong enough to lift that. It's like it wouldn't even matter. The adrenaline gets going, you get in fight or flight mode, and then all of a sudden it's like you realize that you're actually stronger than you thought you were when the right moment comes in, when it's like now or never. That's the mode I see you being in. It's like you don't even care about your limitations. You're in that now or never sort of mode. Okay, from my love and relationships card, we have the tact card. And look here at the animal that is on this card. It's a bull, which is the animal for Taurus. So I've got to have some Taurus sun, moon, or risings that chose this group. It says, I speak and act with care, remembering that impulsive words or harsh tone can sometimes hurt others. If it feels like I'm walking on eggshells, I'll remind myself that those eggshells might actually be a shop full of china, and I might actually be a bull. Then I'll remind myself to stop mixing metaphors. So you see the bull like trying not to break the fine china. From the surrender card, it says, surrender to the beauty of the natural world. Take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy there. Okay, this card is from my love deck, and this is for those of you who are feeling a little bit lost in love or in your current relationship and want some advice for this holiday season. And we have the honeymoon card. It says, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Both of these cards are kind of hearkening back to nature, which is a Taurus-related symbol, I guess. Taurus is very good at relaxing. It's a very practical, grounded sign, and it's very connected to the seasons and the cycles. When I think of Taurus, I think of gardening, growing things. Okay, it's that feminine sort of energy. So connecting with the outdoors in some way will be a big theme this holiday season for you. Some of you may be doing like a cabin trip, or get a good snowfall and you go outside and you enjoy the snow. For some of you, I am getting this sort of romantic vibe, like there's a focus on your romantic life and your romantic relationships. Maybe you're newlyweds, for example, or newly engaged. And so your focus is really on that, like spending the holidays with this particular person or making your love life a priority in a sense. Okay, but I do see you feeling very motivated. Things are just looking up for you. I just see you being very grateful, feeling like you have it all. Or if you don't have it all just yet, I see you having that vision board, knowing what it is you want, taking the steps to get there, and so just being filled with hope. Like, I don't have it right now, but it's coming in 6 months. It's coming in a year, and having that motivation. With the tact card, I feel like you're already taking note of this because you're in this manifestation mode. And when you're manifesting, you're very conscious and careful about what you're thinking and what you're speaking into the universe, because you know that what you speak, what you think comes back towards you. So I see you realizing the power that your thoughts and your words have, and taking a lot of tact with what you say, with what you think, so that you can manifest this reality that you are after. Okay, so Spirit is really just very proud of you, very excited for you, happy that you have had this awakening. You feel like you are filled with purpose this holiday season. I'm just seeing like stars, I'm seeing fireworks, I'm seeing toast and, like toasting, your wine glass or your champagne glass, having a lot to cheer for. So you've accomplished something this holiday season, and you should feel that. Feel proud of yourself, okay? You do have a lot to brag about. Now is the time to brag, okay? And to take pride in who you are, what you've accomplished, and what you're headed towards for 2022. And I do see 2022 being a very goal-oriented year. I just see Spirit showing me like a bowling alley, and that bowling ball going and just striking all those bowling pins, knocking every single one of them down, right? So I see a lot of like training and precision, and you just being like on the top of your game, to be honest, for 2022. So enjoy it. I'm glad you got the motivation. Make the most of it. Now is really your time, you guys. You guys are shining this holiday season. For a lot of you, I know we mentioned Taurus energy, but some of you are celebrating a birthday during this time of the year, holiday season. So celebrate it. You've got a lot to celebrate, all right? I'm going to leave you guys here, but thank you so much for coming. You guys have a lot to look forward to this holiday season. Yeah, you guys feel the most positive and the most motivated out of the 4 groups. So yeah, blessings are coming your way. Enjoy them, revel in them, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys in next week's Pick a Card reading. Let me know in the comments down below what sort of pick a card you would like to see if you were getting to pick it, and I will take your opinion, your suggestion into account. I do that a lot with my subscribers. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.